Offensively, the Dallas Cowboys are poised to unleash one of the most formidable attacks in the NFL. With the recent addition of George Pickens to complement CD Lamb, they now boast one of the best receiving duos in the league. And let's not overlook the signing of Javonte Williams, who has had a career resurgence, racking up an impressive 1,210 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns. Add in Dak Prescott, a quarterback who combines leadership with steady play, and you have the makings of an offense that could contend with anyone in the league. But there's a glaring issue that threatens to derail these ambitions: the Cowboys' defense, which has struggled mightily in recent seasons. ESPN's Kevin Clark recently weighed in on this pressing concern, stating that for the Cowboys to be real Super Bowl contenders, their defense merely needs to become mediocre. During a conversation with Jason McCourty, Clark emphasized that if Dallas can draft impactful players like Reuben Bain Jr. or Caleb Downs at number 12 and follow that up with a cornerback at number 20, they could very well enter the conversation as serious contenders. His reasoning is straightforward. The Cowboys don't need to have a top 5 defense. They simply need to score points, a lot of points, and stay competitive enough defensively to not completely collapse. Throughout the pre-draft process, the Cowboys' name has been frequently linked to both Bain and Downs. Both players have consistently been projected to go before Dallas is on the clock at number 12. But we all know the unpredictability of the NFL draft can often lead to surprises. This year could be no different. The very nature of the draft could see one of these potential game-changers slip into the Cowboys' grasp. There are whispers that Bain's measurables may cause some teams to think twice, potentially allowing him to fall to the Cowboys. Meanwhile, analysts like Daniel Jeremiah have suggested that Downs could experience a similar fate due to the undervalued status of the safety position. The Cowboys need to capitalize on the overthinking of other franchises. Landing Bain or Downs would be a significant coup for this team, offering immediate talent that could reshape their defense. But let's not forget the broader context. This franchise understands a profound impact a new defensive coordinator can have. Reflect back to Mike McCarthy's first year as head coach. The team finished a disappointing 6-10. While Dak Prescott's injury certainly played a role, the defense, led by Mike Nolan, was abysmal, ranking 28th in the league in points allowed. After Nolan was dismissed, Dan Quinn stepped in, and the transformation was remarkable. Under Quinn's leadership, the Cowboys surged to a top 10 defense, finishing 7th in scoring defense, and they went an impressive 12-5 in each of Quinn's 3 seasons at the helm. Can Christian Parker, coupled with 2 promising first-round rookies, replicate that kind of turnaround? The stakes are high, and the potential is there. The Cowboys can't afford to be passive in the draft. They need to make calculated moves that will ensure their offensive firepower is supported by a defense capable of holding its ground. As the fans are well aware, the window for winning in the NFL can be fleeting, and the Cowboys must seize this opportunity to bolster their roster. The excitement is palpable, and while the offense looks ready to take the league by storm, the question remains: can the defense rise to the occasion? Transitioning to the next topic, there's another layer to this narrative, with the Cowboys' draft strategy under scrutiny as they look to solidify their standing in the league. What decisions will they make, and how will it impact their quest for a championship? The Dallas Cowboys are at a crucial crossroads in their offseason, and the linebacker position remains a glaring need that demands immediate attention. With the clock ticking on free agency and the draft looming on the horizon, the urgency to secure a quality player is palpable. The Cowboys have been down this road before, and it's a troubling narrative. Last season's attempts to bolster the unit with Kenneth Murray fizzled out, and the trade for Logan Wilson has become a distant memory, as both players have since departed. Now, DeMarvion Overshown stands as the lone bright light in a position desperately in need of reinforcements. The challenge is multifaceted. Not only does Dallas require a linebacker, but they also need someone who can wear the green, an essential role that calls for a player who can effectively communicate and lead the defense. This dual requirement significantly narrows the list of potential free agent signings, making the task ahead all the more daunting. Sure, the 2026 NFL Draft could provide a lifeline, but drafting a rookie to take on such responsibility is a gamble, especially with the complexities young players face in their first year. The Cowboys must turn to free agency for an immediate solution. three names rise to the forefront as potential answers to the Cowboys' linebacker woes. Each of these players brings distinct strengths and weaknesses to the table, but one stands out among the rest. First up is Jermaine Pratt, whose tumultuous 2025 campaign saw him experience the lowest of lows before clawing his way back to relevance. After a trade request from the Cincinnati Bengals, he found himself released and struggling with the Las Vegas Raiders, where his performance dipped dramatically. However, under the guidance of his former defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo with the Colts, Pratt rediscovered his form, making a significant impact over the latter half of the season. With a Pro Football Focus tackling grade above 76 in 8 games and a respectable overall mark of 63.0, Pratt's run defense skill is undeniable. While he may not excel in coverage, his strengths as a run defender and solid tackler make him a plausible temporary solution for the Cowboys. He could serve as a reliable stopgap while Dallas develops a younger player to take the reins in 2027. Next, we have Bobby Okereke, a player familiar to Cowboys fans after facing him numerous times during his tenure with the New York Giants. Okereke's journey has been rocky, marked by injury concerns and a toxic team culture that stunted his growth. However, when healthy and motivated, Okereke has demonstrated the ability to impact the game in various ways: sideline-to-sideline speed, substantial tackle numbers, and effectiveness in both run defense and coverage. His experience with the Green Dot, having worn it in both Indianapolis and New York, positions him as an ideal fit for Dallas. Despite some setbacks, Okereke's potential to return to form could provide the Cowboys with exactly what they need: a versatile linebacker who can contribute across the board. Finally, we arrive at the cream of the crop, Bobby Wagner. At 35 years old, Wagner continues to defy the odds, showcasing his prowess as one of the best linebackers available in free agency. His former coach, Brian Schottenheimer, has openly expressed his admiration for Wagner, noting the high level at which he continues to play. In 2025, Wagner boasted exceptional grades across the board, ranking among the top linebackers in the league for run defense and pass rush efficiency. While his coverage numbers may have dipped, the Cowboys wouldn't need him to be a lockdown defender. His leadership and experience are his true assets. Wagner's ability to assume the green dot role makes him the most attractive option for Dallas, a player who can seamlessly integrate into the defense and elevate the entire unit. In summary, the Dallas Cowboys stand at a pivotal moment as they seek to fill the linebacker void. The urgency for a player capable of wearing the green dot and making an impact is louder than ever. Whether they turn to Pratt, Okereke, or Wagner, the Cowboys must make the right choice to bolster their defense and set themselves up for success in the upcoming season. As we shift to the next topic, the anticipation surrounding the Cowboys' decisions only grows. Stephon Gilmore, a cornerstone of the NFL for over a decade, has officially hung up his cleats. This marks not just the end of a career for one of the game's premier cornerbacks, but also an opportunity to reflect on his impact and legacy, particularly during his time with the Dallas Cowboys, where he brought a wealth of experience and talent. At 35 years old, Gilmore leaves behind a legacy that began in Buffalo, where he was drafted 10th overall in 2012. His time with the Bills was far from uneventful. He showcased his potential with 14 interceptions and 62 passes defended during his 5-year stint. However, it was his move to New England that truly defined his career. In 2018, he was instrumental in the Patriots' Super Bowl 53 victory, making pivotal plays, including an interception, that led to a Lombardi Trophy. The following year, he took home the Defensive Player of the Year award, an accolade that highlighted his dominance on the field as he led the league in interceptions and passes defended. After his tenure in New England, Gilmore transitioned through several teams, including a notable season with the Cowboys. Here, he was expected to be a leader in the secondary, a veteran presence that could elevate the younger talent around him. Although his time in Dallas was brief, it was marked by his ability to mentor and guide the next generation of defenders. He recorded at least one interception with every team he suited up for, proving that even in the later stages of his career, he maintained the instincts and skills that made him a perennial threat to opposing quarterbacks. Now, as we reflect on Gilmore's departure, it's crucial to consider what his retirement means for the Cowboys. Losing a player of Gilmore's caliber is undoubtedly a blow, especially in a league where defensive prowess is paramount. His experience and skill set brought a level of stability to his secondary that had its ups and downs. The Cowboys, who are always in pursuit of that elusive sixth Super Bowl title, will need to find a way to replace not just his playing ability, but also the leadership he provided. Fan reactions to Gilmore's retirement have been mixed. Many supporters recognize his contributions and the knowledge he imparted to the younger players, while others lament the loss of a player who still had the potential to influence games. The defense will now face the challenge of filling the void left by Gilmore and continuing to build a unit that can compete at the highest level. This means that the front office must be strategic in their approach to free agency and the upcoming draft, identifying key pieces that will help fortify the secondary. As we close this chapter on Stephon Gilmore's illustrious career, it's essential to honor the impact he had on the game and specifically on the Dallas Cowboys. He was more than just a player. He was a mentor, a competitor, and a champion. His legacy will undoubtedly inspire future generations of cornerbacks who aspire to leave their mark in the NFL. So, as we bid farewell to Gilmore, let's also look forward to what's next for the Cowboys. The path ahead is filled with opportunities, and while the departure of a player like Gilmore is significant, it also opens the door for new talents to emerge. The Cowboys have a rich history of resilience and adaptability, and this moment is no different. We encourage you to subscribe and share your thoughts on the impact of Stephon Gilmore's retirement and what you believe is next for the Dallas Cowboys. What direction do you think the team should take to keep building a championship-caliber squad? Your insights matter, and we look forward to hearing from you.